WinGate 7 builds on the pedigree of the previous WinGate products, but has been almost completely rewritten to be faster, smarter and more effective. Let's take a quick look at some of the new and improved features of WinGate 7. If you have some experience with WinGate, the first thing you'll notice will be the new user interface. Everything is laid out in a tree structure to make navigation more intuitive. Links to knowledge base articles and tutorials on the welcome screen provide quick answers to common questions and help you get the most out of WinGate. The navigation tree is split into monitoring and control panel sections to make getting around simple. The activity, email and firewall panels will be familiar to those of you with WinGate experience, but we've added a couple of new panels: the dashboard, notifications and VPN. On the dashboard screen we can configure events for monitoring, allowing at-a-glance real-time usage updates. I've got multiple dashboards, one for general monitoring, one for caching and another for Bob's team. The dashboard is fully customizable, so you can create new dashboards of your own to monitor many different aspects of your WinGate server. The VPN panel displays the VPNs available and shows connected nodes. If you're familiar with WinGate VPN, you'll notice that we now display VPNs as a series of connected machines with the associated routes on a different tab. New to version 7 is the in-product help. Looking at the policy window, on the right hand side of the screen we see the policy help contents with how-to instructions and links to related topics. Clicking on the Go to Events link takes us straight to the Events window and the help updates accordingly. The Events window shows all of the events that can be processed by WinGate. These events are made available to the different WinGate components for processing. Policies have had a complete makeover in WinGate 7 and are now based upon the event framework. This means that you can now use the WinGate policy system to easily create complex policies that do just about anything, and have these policies triggered by a wide range of events. The new policy system uses a flowchart policy builder, and creating a policy is as easy as dragging and dropping components into place. Here I've created a sample policy that authenticates users, checks requests against a restricted sites list, and blocks access to a banned sites list. Attempting to access this blacklisted site will also send an email to the manager. My list of restricted sites contains CNN, and my blacklist contains porn.com. So let's watch as our employee Bob tries to go first to CNN.com, Bob's asked to authenticate, and he's denied access. And now porn.com, he's denied access again, but this time we can see that Bob's in big trouble. Jumping back to WinGate, we can see we have a notification, and we can check to see what's happened here. As you can see, we've sent an email to Bob's manager, and as the policy says, Bob's in big trouble. Now I want to add a switch to my policy so that I can turn off the restricted sites check. I can simply drag the components around, insert my restrict sites decision, and hook up the elements. The restrict sites lookup is performed on the data panel here. Also, if we jump back to the dashboard, we can see our restrict sites switch, which sets the restrict sites value in that data window to true or false. So you can control policy from the dashboard too. Notice this third dashboard called Bob's team. With WinGate 7 permissions, we can control what is visible in the UI, so we can give a manager monitoring and control over their team by adjusting their level of access. I have set the permissions for Bob so that he can view only his own dashboard. Let's see what Bob sees when he logs in. As you can see, Bob can only see the dashboard that he has permissions for. Also, Bob can control whether or not the restrict site switch is set in the policy we looked at earlier. Caching is another feature that has had a complete overhaul. Caching now fully supports HTTP 1.1 and allows you to create multiple cache volumes and actively manage them. You can see here that I have two cache volumes set up, one on my C drive and the other on my D drive. If I pause the first volume, the next volume automatically goes live. The cache index can now be stored in a database as well. Another new addition is the update module, which will keep you informed of new releases, new products, and the status of existing products. WinGate updates can be configured to download automatically, install automatically, or not at all, based upon the critical or non-critical status of the update. The update system also supports unattended updates. So there you have a very brief, very sneaky peek at WinGate 7. Obviously there is much more to talk about, and what we did look at we just touched on lightly.